All right, buckle up, everyone. We're diving deep into the world of web hosting today. We're going to tackle the 20 best web hosting services of 2024. We've got reviews, insights, the whole shebang. And hopefully by the end, you'll know exactly which web host is your perfect match.
Yeah, it can be a real jungle out there. So many options, each one promising the moon.
It's true. Just glancing at this list, Hostinger, DreamHost, A2 Hosting, GoDaddy, Namecheap, it's a lot. And to be honest, picking a web host can feel as intimidating as choosing a college.
You're not wrong there.
But why should anyone even care about this stuff?
Well, think of it this way. Your web host is like the foundation of your whole online presence. It's what makes your website visible to the world.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So a bad host means a bad website.
Pretty much. The wrong choice can tank your website's speed, make it vulnerable to attacks, even hurt your search rankings.
Yikes, that's not what we want. Okay, so let's get into these rankings then. Both of her sources, 10 best web hosting providers in 2024, and Forbes Advisor, had their top 10 picks. Although, there's some overlap and some differences, which makes it even more interesting. First off, we have Hostinger. They seem to be the darling of the web hosting world, popping up everywhere for their speed and security.
And user-friendliness, too. They've really got the whole package.
So what's their secret sauce?
Well, for starters, they use Lightspeed web servers. Those are known for being lightning fast.
So they've got the hardware to back up the hype.
Exactly. And on top of that, they have a built-in caching system. This makes page loading even faster.
So speed is covered, but what about security?
Don't worry, they've got that locked down too. DDoS protection, malware scanning, the works. You can sleep soundly knowing your website is safe from those nasty cyber attacks.
Okay, I'm sold on the security front. But let's talk money. Is all this speed and security going to break the bank?
Not necessarily. Their premium plan is actually super attractive, especially for the entry level.
What do you get with that?
Free domain, 100 gigabytes of storage, unlimited bandwidth, all for a very reasonable price.
That does sound like a steal. Perfect for anyone just starting out or anyone who wants a reliable, no-nonsense web host.
Speaking of affordability, next up we have Ionos. They're known for being super budget-friendly.
If you're on a tight budget and need a simple website, Ionos is worth a look. Their prices are rock bottom, especially for shared hosting.
But we all know that the cheapest option isn't always the best. What are the compromises with Ionos?
Well, you don't get a free domain name, and the free SSL certificate they offer has some limitations.
So you might end up paying extra for those.
Yeah, if you need them.
Okay, so good for those on a shoestring budget. But if you need those extras, maybe look elsewhere. Next up, we have SiteGround. Our sources say they're a real powerhouse for freelancers and small businesses.
Absolutely. What's great about SiteGround is they go above and beyond the basics.
Like what?
They give you unmetered traffic, a free SSL certificate, daily backups, plus a free CDN and even performance boosters. Whoa, hold on a sec. You threw in CDN there. What exactly is that?
Good catch. CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. It's basically a network of servers all over the world. They work together to deliver your website content faster no matter where your visitors are.
So it's all about speed, especially for websites with a global audience.
You got it.
Okay. SiteGround sounds pretty solid then. Speed, reliability, global reach. They've got it all. Now let's talk about Bluehost. They're a big name, especially in the WordPress world, right?
Oh yeah, Bluehost is known for their WordPress expertise. They offer advanced management tools and e-commerce add-ons that make managing a WordPress site a breeze.
Sounds like a dream for WordPress fans.
Yeah.
But I think I read somewhere that their plans can be a bit tricky.
You're right. To get all the bells and whistles, you have to go for a specific plan. It's not like some other providers where everything is included up front.
That's a bit of a bummer. Anything else we should know about Bluehost?
There are some potential downsides, no uptime guarantee, and some reports of slow support responses.
Not ideal if you need rock-solid reliability and quick help.
Exactly.
Okay, noted. Now, what about HostGator? They seem to cover all the managed hosting basics.
Even their cheapest plan is packed with goodies. Unlimited bandwidth, a free domain, email, SSL, one-click installs. They really make it easy to get your site up and running.
That does sound pretty comprehensive, especially for a basic plan. But what about their free site migrations? Are there any catches?
Unfortunately, yes. The free service is limited to a certain number of websites and files.
So if you have a bigger site or need to move multiple sites, you'll likely pay extra?
That's right.
All right, good to know. So HostGator, good starting point, but be aware of those potential extra costs. Next, we have DreamHost. Their 97-day money-back guarantee really caught my eye. They must be pretty confident in their services.
They definitely stand behind their product. And not just with the money-back guarantee, they also offer a 100% uptime guarantee for shared hosting, which is pretty rare.
Whoa, so they're saying your website will always be up or you get your money back.
That's the prompt.
And what about features?
Even their cheapest plan comes with a free domain, unlimited traffic, free SSL, and daily backups.
Wow, that's a lot for your money. But there have to be some downsides, right?
Well, their phone support is limited, and their renewal prices are a bit higher than the initial price.
Okay, so the initial cost is tempting, but it might cost more down the line. That's something to keep in mind. Moving on to A2 Hosting. They're known for being speed demons, claiming to be up to 20 times faster than the competition.
They achieve that speed through a combination of things. They use turbo servers with NVMe drives and a caching system that stores data in RAM for super fast retrieval.
So some serious tech behind those speed claims.
Absolutely.
And have two main shared hosting plans, Startup and Turbo.
The turbo plan gives you even more performance, but it does cost a bit more.
So if speed is your top priority, A2 Hosting's Turbo plan might be worth the investment. But are there any trade-offs for all this speed?
Sadly, yes. A2 Hosting doesn't include free domain registration or WHOA's privacy protection with their shared plans.
So back to those costs then. Okay, another reminder that there's always a balance to strike between features, performance, and cost. Now let's talk Namecheap. They're all about budget-friendly hosting.
But don't let the low prices fool you. They don't skimp on quality.
Ooh, tell me more.
They have a user-friendly control panel, great hosting tools, a fantastic support site, plus multiple data centers for better reliability.
So they're proving that affordable doesn't have to mean sacrificing quality.
Exactly.
What about their free domain offer? I hear there are some restrictions.
Yeah, the free domain doesn't include .com domains, which is a shame since .com is the most popular and recognizable.
So you might have to shell out a bit extra for that .com address. What about their uptime guarantee? Do they keep your website up and running?
They claim 100% uptime, but their refund policy for downtime is a bit limited.
Interesting. So while they aim for perfect uptime, you might not get fully compensated if things go wrong. Okay, good to know. Now let's move on to a name everyone knows, GoDaddy. Even people who know nothing about web hosting have heard of GoDaddy.
They're like the giant of the web hosting world. Been around forever, huge market share, known for their marketing.
So they're kind of like the Walmart of web hosting.
I like that analogy. And just like Walmart, they have a mix of good and bad.
What do you mean?
Well, their cheapest plan comes with a free domain, SSL, and even Microsoft 365 mailboxes for the first year.
That sounds pretty good, especially for those who need email too.
It is, but their overall service prices are higher than average, and they tend to charge extra for a lot of features. Plus, their pricing can vary depending on your region, which is a bit confusing.
Okay, so GoDaddy good if you want everything in one place, but be prepared to pay a premium. All right, so we've covered the top 10 players, but don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the other 10 on our list.
Before we get to those, I think we should check out Forbes Advisor's unique picks. They have some interesting insights into providers that our other source didn't mention.
Ooh, new contenders. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
First up, we have web.com. They're all about making website building super easy, even for total beginners.
How do they do that?
They offer customizable templates and a drag-and-drop interface. Creating a website with them is supposed to be a piece of cake.
Sounds perfect for those who get intimidated by the technical side of web design. What about their pricing and security?
They have various plans for different budgets, and they include an SSL certificate for security right from the start.
Great, so you get a secure website without having to worry about extra steps. What's next on Forbes Advisor's list?
It's in motion hosting. They're known for their UltraStack technology, which sounds pretty impressive.
UltraStack. That does sound fancy. But what is it exactly? And why should we care?
It's basically their secret weapon for speed and performance, a combination of optimized hardware and software.
Okay, so they've got the tech to back up their claims.
Exactly. They use NVMe SSD storage, which is super fast, and they have a custom server setup designed to handle even really demanding websites.
So they're pulling out all the stops to make sure your website is running smoothly.
You got it.
And what about features?
They have robust security marketing tools, and in their higher tier plans, you get unlimited features.
But all that performance and power probably comes at a price, right?
Yes, their plans are pricier than some of the budget options we've talked about, but they offer a 90-day money-back guarantee, so you have plenty of time to try them out and see if they're a good fit.
That's pretty generous. 3 whole months to test them out risk-free.
Yeah.
What else is on Forbes Advisor's list?
We have TMD Hosting. They focus on scalability, meaning they have plans for businesses of all sizes.
That's important, especially for businesses that are growing quickly. You don't want to outgrow your web host.
Absolutely.
So what else does TMD Hosting offer?
They have a 99.9% uptime guarantee, a 15-minute support response guarantee, and free website migrations.
That's a lot of guarantees.
And they offer unlimited email accounts and free installations of scripts, modules, and templates.
Wow, they seem to have thought of everything. But I'm sensing a but coming.
You know me too well. While they have great features, their monthly fees are a bit higher than average, and their base plans have some restrictions.
So to get all the good stuff, you might need to upgrade to a higher tier plan.
Right.
Okay, so again, it's all about weighing the pros and cons. What's the last contender on Forbes Advisor's list?
It's HostWinds, and they're all about unlimited resources.
What do you mean?
Every plan comes with unlimited storage and bandwidth.
Unlimited. That sounds too good to be true.
Well, there are some caveats, but essentially you don't have to worry about hitting any limits.
That's a dream for anyone who deals with large files or high traffic. What about email hosting?
They include unlimited free business email accounts, too.
Wow, so you can create as many email addresses as you need. That's a pretty sweet deal. What about their uptime guarantee? Do they keep your website up and running?
They boast a 99.9999% uptime guarantee.
That's practically perfect. They're basically guaranteeing that your website will always be accessible.
Pretty much.
But there has to be a catch, right?
Well, their base plan only lets you host a single website. If you want unlimited features and multiple websites, you'll need to go for a higher tier plan.
All right, so there are always trade-offs. But overall, HostWinds seems like a solid option for those who need those unlimited resources and rock-solid reliability.
Definitely worth considering, especially for resource-intensive websites.
Okay, so we've covered 14 of the 20 best web hosting services. We've got some great insights from our sources, but now I want to hear what real users are saying.
That's a great idea. Expert opinions are helpful, but hearing from actual users is crucial.
Right. It's like getting a recommendation from a friend versus reading a product review online.
Exactly. And thankfully, Forbes Advisor didn't just rely on experts. They analyzed tons of user reviews to uncover the hidden strengths and weaknesses of these providers.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Let's hear what the users have to say.
Forbes Advisor created something called a consumer sentiment index from all those user reviews. It breaks down the positive, neutral, and negative feedback on different aspects of each provider.
So it's like a report card from actual customers.
Exactly. Things like security, speed, customer support, pricing, reliability, it's all there.
That's awesome. It gives us a real peek behind the marketing curtain.
Right. Let's start with MochaHost. They score a whopping 92% positive for customer support.
Wow, 92%. People must really love their support team.
It seems so, but there's a catch.
Oh, I knew there had to be a catch with a score that high.
Their uptime reliability only gets 28% positive feedback.
Ouch. That's a big difference. So you might get a friendly voice on the phone, but your website could be down a lot.
That's the potential trade-off.
It really shows how important it is to figure out what matters most to you. Some people might be okay with a little downtime if the support is amazing, but for others, reliability is king.
Absolutely. It's all about priorities.
Okay, let's see what users are saying about DreamHost. We talked about their guarantees, but how do they actually perform in the real world?
They get a lot of love for being budget-friendly and easy to use, especially for people new to WordPress.
That makes sense given their focus on shared hosting and WordPress. But I'm guessing it's not all perfect.
You're right. Some users complain about slow performance and occasional downtime, and apparently their customer support is limited on weekends.
That could be a pain if you run into a problem outside of business hours.
Yeah, especially if you rely on your website for income.
So, DreamHost good for beginners on a budget, but maybe not the best for speed demons or those who need constant support.
It's a good summary.
Speaking of big names, let's see what users have to say about GoDaddy.
This is where things get interesting. GoDaddy gets a lot of negative feedback, especially about their upselling tactics and server performance.
Upselling, the classic, you want fries with that, of the web hosting world.
Exactly. They try to get you to buy all these extra services you probably don't need.
And what about their server performance? Is it as bad as people say?
A lot of users complain about slow loading times and frequent downtime.
Yikes, that's not good.
Yeah.
So, GoDaddy convenient, but you might be sacrificing speed and reliability. It seems like user reviews can really reveal a different side to these providers.
Totally. It's a good reminder to always do your research and get multiple perspectives.
Absolutely. Speaking of different perspectives, our next source, TechRadar, has a unique way of ranking web hosting services.
They have a whole bunch of best categories for different needs.
Like best for beginners, best for business, even best for the environment.
You got it.
Yeah.
They recognize that there's no one-size-fits-all solution in web hosting.
That makes sense. It's like a web hosting awards show with different categories for everyone.
I like that analogy.
Okay, I'm hooked. Tell me more. Let's start with their pick for beginners. Who wins that crown?
It's Hostinger, no surprises there. They're super user-friendly and affordable, which makes them perfect for newbies.
They're really killing it in this deep dive.
Yeah.
What does TechRadar specifically like about them for beginners?
They highlight the ease of setup, the global data centers, and their AI troubleshooter.
AI troubleshooter. That sounds fancy.
It helps diagnose and fix common website issues automatically.
Wow, so you don't even have to contact support or Google for solutions.
It's a great feature for those who aren't tech savvy.
Now, what about WordPress users? Who does TechRadar recommend for them?
SiteGround takes the cake in the best for WordPress category.
SiteGround again, they're another top performer in this deep dive.
They're deeply ingrained in the WordPress community, so it makes sense. They've been working with WordPress for over 20 years, optimizing their setup for security, speed, and reliability.
And they have amazing customer support, especially for WordPress issues.
It's a great choice for anyone running a WordPress site.
Okay, now for business users, and I think this one might surprise some people.
TechRadar chose DreamHost as the best for business.
DreamHost. Really? But we just talked about their slow performance and limited support.
I know, it's unexpected. But TechRadar highlights their AI business advisor tool, their wide range of products, and their advanced cloud and object storage plans.
So maybe it's all about finding the right fit for your specific needs?
Exactly. What might be a drawback for one person could be a non-issue for another.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what downsides does TechRadar mention about DreamHost for businesses?
They point out that their cheapest plan doesn't include email, and they lack a CDN, and their data centers are all US-based.
Ah, so if you need those things, you might need to look elsewhere or go for a higher tier plan.
That's right.
Okay, what about the budget-conscious folks out there? Who's the best for them?
Namecheap wins again. They get the best cheap web hosting title.
They're on a roll.
TechRadar praises their control panel, hosting tools, support site, and multiple data centers.
They really seem to be the real deal, offering quality without breaking the bank.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about a unique pick, Green Geeks. They're all about eco-friendly web hosting, right?
Exactly. TechRadar chose them as the best for the environment.
I love that they're making sustainability a priority.
Yep.
But do they sacrifice performance for the environment?
Not at all. They have data centers worldwide and optimized WordPress plans for speed and reliability.
So you can feel good about your hosting choice and have a fast website.
It's the best of both worlds.
Okay, what's next on TechRadar's list of specialized picks?
A2 Hosting makes another appearance, this time winning the best reseller hosting title.
Reseller hosting, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's when you buy hosting services from a provider like A2 Hosting and then resell them to your own clients.
Oh, so you're basically a web hosting middleman.
Exactly. You're creating your own mini web hosting company.
That's interesting. So why is A2 Hosting good for that?
They offer a range of plans, good discounts for resellers, and features like cPanel and RAID 10 SSD storage.
So if you're tech savvy and entrepreneurial, this could be a cool business opportunity.
Definitely.
All right, on to the final category, managed WordPress hosting.
WP Engine takes the crown for best managed WordPress.
WP Engine. Their name says it all.
They're all about WordPress, and they offer premium hosting services.
But premium usually means expensive, right?
True, they're definitely on the pricier side, but they justify it with their focus on speed, security, and scalability, all tailored for WordPress.
So they're the Rolls-Royce of WordPress hosting.
A perfect analogy. They even maintain a list of risky WordPress plugins that they block to protect their users.
Wow, they're really serious about security.
And to make sure their picks are legit, they conduct performance tests and uptime monitoring.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here. Top 10s, Forbes Advisors picks, user sentiment, TechRadar's specialized recommendations. It's a lot.
We've barely scratched the surface of the web hosting world.
True. But I'm feeling a lot more confident about navigating it all now.
Wait, we still have 6 providers from our original list that we haven't talked about.
You're right. But before we jump into those, I think we should talk about the different types of web hosting available.
Oh yeah, good point. Understanding the different types can help narrow down the choices.
Exactly. Forbes Advisor has a helpful overview of this. Let's start with shared hosting, the most common and affordable option. Shared hosting, that's where you're sharing server resources with other websites, right?
Yep. Think of it like renting an apartment in a big building. You share common areas and utilities, which keeps costs low, but it can lead to performance issues sometimes.
Like if your neighbor is having a loud party and using all the hot water.
Exactly. So shared hosting is good for small websites with low traffic.
But what if you need more power and control? What's the next step up?
That's where VPS hosting comes in. It's like renting a townhouse. You still share the building, but you have your own dedicated space and resources.
So you're not directly impacted by what other websites are doing on the server.
Right. You get dedicated RAM and CPU, so your website won't slow down if someone else gets a traffic surge.
So VPS offers a good balance of affordability and performance.
Exactly.
And for those who need the absolute best performance and control.
That's where dedicated hosting comes in. It's like owning your own private mansion. The whole server is yours, no sharing, no limits.
Sounds luxurious, but probably comes with a luxury price tag.
It is the most expensive option, but also the most powerful and reliable.
And then there's managed WordPress hosting, which we touched on earlier.
Right. That's a specialized solution for WordPress websites.
So the provider takes care of all the technical stuff like security updates, backups, and performance optimization.
Exactly. You can focus on creating content and growing your website without worrying about the technical details.
It's like having a personal assistant for your website.
A great analogy.
Okay, so we've got shared, VPS, dedicated, and managed WordPress. Those are the main ones, right?
There are some others like cloud hosting and reseller hosting, which we already talked about.
All right, so we've covered a lot today. We've explored the pros and cons of different providers, user reviews, hosting types. I'm feeling a lot more knowledgeable about web hosting now.
That's fantastic. And remember, choosing a web host is an ongoing process. Your needs might change as your website grows, so stay informed and do your research.
Great advice. Choosing a web host is just the beginning, but it's an important step in building your online presence.
Absolutely. Once you have a good host, you can focus on creating amazing content and sharing your voice with the world.
All right, we have those last 6 providers to go through. Let's finish strong. All right, time to tackle those final 6 providers on our list.
Let's do it.
First up, we have Scala Hosting.
Another one that TechRadar really likes.
Scala Hosting. I'm not as familiar with them.
They're known for their VPS offerings.
So what makes their VPS stand out?
They offer a great balance of affordability and customization. Their shared hosting plans are decent, but their VPS plans are where they really shine.
Customization, huh? So you can really tweak the server to fit your specific needs.
Exactly. You can control everything from the number of CPU cores to the RAM and storage. Plus, they offer free site migrations and a good money-back guarantee.
So you can try them out without much risks. That sounds appealing, especially for those who like to have more control over their server. But I'm guessing there are some trade-offs.
Yeah, there are a couple of things. Their shared hosting speeds aren't the fastest, and they don't offer phone support.
So maybe not the best if you need blazing fast speeds or want that immediate support on the phone.
Right.
Okay, noted. What's next?
Let's talk about Liquid Web.
Liquid Web, that name sounds powerful.
And their services live up to the name. TechRadar is a big fan of their managed hosting.
Managed hosting, so they handle all the technical stuff for you.
Exactly. They're all about high performance, reliability, and top-notch customer support.
I'm looking at their VPS plans, and wow, they seem seriously powerful. 10 Gbps network connection, 10 TB bandwidth. Those are some impressive specs.
They're definitely not messing around.
But all that power must come at a price.
It does. Liquid Web is definitely on the pricier side. But they offer a 99.999% uptime guarantee and a strict service level agreement that compensates you for any downtime.
Wow, so they're really putting their money where their mouth is.
And their customer support is amazing too. They guarantee super fast response times across email, live chat, and phone.
Okay, I'm starting to see why TechRadar loves them. They seem like the perfect choice for those who demand the absolute best and are willing to pay for it.
You got it.
Now, for something completely different.
Shockbite.
This one is for the gamers out there.
Gamers, what do they offer?
TechRadar chose them as the best for Minecraft hosting.
Minecraft hosting, that's a thing.
Oh yeah, big time. Online gaming is huge, and games like Minecraft need servers to run properly.
That makes sense.
Shockbite specializes in hosting servers for popular online games, including Minecraft.
So if you're serious about your Minecraft game, they're the ones to go to.
Exactly. They have a wide range of plans, from basic ones for small groups to powerful servers that can handle tons of players. They offer DDoS protection, unlimited slots, mod pack support, the works.
They're really catering to the hardcore gamers.
Absolutely.
So whether you're playing with friends or running a massive online community, they've got you covered.
Right.
But what if you like to set up and manage your own game server? It's possible, but it can be a lot of work, especially if you're not tech savvy. Shockbyte takes care of all the technical stuff, so you can just focus on playing.
Sometimes it's just easier to let the experts handle it.
I agree.
Okay, we're down to our final three: AccuWeb Hosting, Cloudways, and Green Geeks. We already talked about Green Geeks and their eco-friendly approach.
They're a fantastic choice for those who want to be environmentally conscious.
So what about AccuWeb Hosting?
They're big on security. They offer light-speed servers and a 99.9% uptime guarantee on all their plans.
Sounds like they're all about keeping your website safe and online.
They have a wide range of hosting options, too, from shared and WordPress to VPS, dedicated, and even reseller hosting.
So something for everyone.
Pretty much.
But you mentioned they have limited phone support, right?
Yes, and their shared hosting plans are a bit more expensive than some other budget options.
Okay, so another reminder to weigh the pros and cons. Last but not least, we have Cloudways.
They're known for their cloud hosting expertise.
Cloud hosting, that's all about scalability and handling big traffic spikes, right?
Exactly. And Cloudways partners with top cloud providers like DigitalOcean, AWS, and Google Cloud.
So they're like the matchmakers of cloud hosting, finding the perfect provider for your needs.
That's a great way to put it.
And they make managing your cloud hosting easy, right?
They have a user-friendly platform for managing servers, applications, and databases. They take care of the technical details so you don't have to.
And what about performance? Can they handle those traffic surges?
Their servers are optimized for performance, and their platform is designed to handle traffic spikes without any issues.
So no website crashes when you're getting a lot of visitors.
Hopefully not.
What about their support? Are they helpful?
They offer 24/7 live chat, phone support, and a great knowledge base.
So they've got all the bases covered. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, to be honest.
It's a lot to take in, but don't worry, the main thing is to focus on your own needs and priorities.
You're right, it's easy to get lost in all the details. So any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Remember, there's no single best web hosting service for everyone. Do your research, compare plans, read reviews, and think about what matters most to you.
Great advice. Don't be afraid to ask questions and take advantage of free trials or money-back guarantees.
Exactly. Choosing a web host is an important step, but it's just the beginning.
It's the foundation for building your online presence and sharing your voice with the world.
And that's what it's all about.
That's a wrap for our deep dive into the 20 best web hosting services of 2024. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.